But yeah, this in hindsight, I think might be for Atom, OSMO, even Juno, if you look at that, or other coins in Cosmos, probably the best time to to make an asymmetrical bet on this market, because you can pick it up at huge discounts. I mean, Osmo was at $12 2 months ago. Now it's at $2. The code hasn't changed. Nothing has changed.
Okay, I think this is one of the most important episodes that we've ever recorded, because I think what is happening in Terra ecosystem right now is just undescribable. I mean, UST is significantly depegged from the US dollar price. So I mean, for the people who do not know what UST is, so UST is a stablecoin that basically tracks the US dollar price. Normally it should be the case that UST is like I don't know, like at $1 or like at 99 cents, but right now UST is at 50 cents. So your $1 node in your wallet is much more worth than UST as we speak, and also the Luna price is dumping like crazy. And yeah, this is like a pretty big, because Luna, or like Terra better said, is one of the biggest ecosystems in this industry. So yeah, I think like for me, that's one of the most intense crypto experience I've ever had. So Cryptocito, maybe you can share your thoughts on this as well. You've been in this industry for a very long time. What are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, never a boring day in crypto. This is another big thing, a giant that is collapsing right now in front of our eyes. And there's not much that can be done. I mean, we can talk about possible solutions for this. Just Do Kwon just tweeted, there's a new proposal now on the Terra network. But yeah, this is huge. And I've not been around in 2014 when Mt. Gox got hacked for 700,000 plus Bitcoins. But people that have been around, they compare what is happening to Terra to what happened back then with Mt. Gox. I have been around though in 2017, like early 2018, when BitConnect got not hacked, but when the Ponzi scheme imploded, and BitConnect was also a top 10 cryptocurrency. And yeah, it always sheds a negative light on the entire crypto markets. You can also already see this. Janet Yellen, in one of the whatever meetings they had, she already talked about it. And obviously now, regulators, governments, they take this as a perfect reason to make their case for CBDCs. Maybe we can talk about this also later. There's also conspiracies that maybe the US government or regulators themselves are behind attacking UST and depegging it from the dollar. But yeah, it's a big thing. And as cosmonauts, Terra is a Cosmos blockchain, Cosmos-based chain, sovereign zone within the ecosystem. They also have IBC implemented, at least Luna and UST. We can also talk about what this means now, as we see simultaneously OSMO is going down like crazy at the same time. So yeah, wild days. Yeah, I would not want to change with Do Kwon right now, to be honest. I'm sure he's in a very tough situation and will not get a lot of sleep in the next few days. So
yeah, 100%. I think he won't see any daylight for the next couple of days. That's for sure. But yeah, you mentioned it already. There's a lot to unpack here. So first of all, of course, what happened actually. We will touch this very shortly because you recorded a video about it yesterday. I highly recommend to check it out. Also, our friend Confident in Crypto recorded one. So just check these videos out. We will touch the general problem very slightly. But then we will also discuss what it means for Cosmos. We will also discuss like what this means from a regulatory point of view, because you mentioned it. That's actually a very interesting point here. So yeah, I would start before we really dive deeper into the discussion. So what happened? So could you give us like a very a broad overview right now? So what happened, and then I mean people can check out your video afterward.
Yeah, just quick summary, what Terra is, how it works. Terra introduced a very, very experimental and unique model to the algorithmic stablecoin space, right? And I think we have to first explain stablecoins. There's two categories on the big picture. One is asset-backed stablecoins like USDC, USDT, where you have people depositing dollars in bank vaults, and then the company, in that case, Circle or Tether, they issue or mint virtual dollars on the blockchain, right? But this is one-to-one backed by the underlying dollar, which is sitting in a bank vault. Algorithmic stablecoins are basically more a construct of contracts, smart contracts, and underlying collateral or something that backs up the value of that algorithmic stablecoin, right? So the first one was DAI, which is predominantly collateralized by ETH. And then Terra came around and introduced a mint and burn model where the value of UST is basically being stabilized, and the peg to the dollar is being stabilized by the price of Luna, right? So this is really, really important to understand that what really, really matters is the price of Luna to remain stable or to go up, which is, you know, what a lot of VCs love, a lot of retailers love. That's why Luna also went through the roof, because besides this unique intrinsic utility of Luna being pegged to UST, the speculators just bought a lot of Luna and speculated on the price and made a lot of money. Now, what happened is there was a huge bank run on UST. People say it was an attack. Maybe it was also because the overall market sentiment in crypto is really bad right now. But a lot of people sold massive positions in UST, and also the Luna price went down significantly. So this caused UST to depeg from the US, from $1, and now it's trading at 50% below it. It wicked down to 60 cents on the first day and then went back up to 91 cents, 92. But now it's seems to be completely, wild, wild west. And people say Terra will never recover from this. This is it. You see mass liquidations. You see people losing not hundreds of millions, but billions of dollars. 50 billion have been wiped out in the Terra ecosystem alone in the past 2 days. 10 billion have been withdrawn from Anchor Protocol, which was the predominant utility for UST demand. And it's all being wiped out right now entirely. This is a complete bank run. People also compare it to what happened 2008 with Lehman Brothers. This is an absolute bank run, and UST is just collapsing. And yeah, we can talk about the proposal that's up right now, because this aims to accelerate the dumping of UST, if you will. But yeah, it's very, very nasty.
100%. And again, please feel free to check out Cryptocito's video, and also Confident Crypto's video. And also, let me just start sharing my screen here. Also check out this Twitter thread. I mean, Cryptocito, you also based your previous video on this Twitter thread. Also describes very well what basically happened and how Luna and UST works. But now I also want to bring everything into perspective, like how much went wrong, because we're talking about billions. We talk about that people lost their life savings, more or less. So yeah, I also know some people who really, really suffer from this. So this is no funny meme. It's like about people losing vast amounts of money right now. So yeah, actually, so as you can see here, this doesn't look good at all. Like yesterday, I was like looking at the USD, the UST price yesterday. It was at $1 or like a little bit less, and people were like freaking out when they saw UST at 92 cents. 92 cents would be like a huge improvement right now. But yeah, as you can see, we are completely depegged. Yeah, from the US dollar, which is not good at all. And also Terra, like Luna, wow. I just refreshed it. When we started the episode, it was like at $3. Now it's like at $2.61. So as you can see, doesn't look good at all. And now you mentioned it. Now we have like a plan in order to peg to the US dollar again. It's on the governance proposal. Actually, Do Kwon, we just started the session, and Do Kwon basically published his emergency plan, what they want to do. So yeah, Cryptocito, could you explain this to us in very simple words, what the current plan is to basically somehow save the situation, somehow get things going again?
Yeah, so what he's basically saying is the only way that you can not save, you can't do much right now. This is the point. The only thing you can do is you can accelerate that people get out of UST, because people want to get out of UST. And yeah, you can see, I think also if you scroll up, oh no, you can see it here. More than 8 billion UST have been withdrawn from Anchor in less than 2 days. I think you also shared a chart there, but Anchor again has been the predominant market for UST demand and utility. That's why people wanted UST, because you could deposit it on Anchor and earn 19.5% yield on it, right? On a stable coin, in a stable coin. But now everybody is withdrawing from Anchor, and they want to burn their UST. They want to get out of UST.
Let me just show the screen here. So as you can see here, 4.7 billion total value locked as of now. But yeah, look where we came from.
If you see the green one, that means the deposits 2 days, May 3rd, I think May 4 or 5, it was at 18 billion. So $14 billion have been taken out of Anchor, which is basically an entire collapse of the protocol, which defeats the whole game theory of UST, because now people want to get out of it and they want to burn it, right? But the the mint and burn capacity on Anchor, on Terra, on the blockchain, on the network, is only $293 million, right? But now imagine you have 14 billion that want to be burnt, but you can only burn 293. I don't know what's the, is it per day, or I don't know what it is measured in. But what they're basically proposing now is to 4x that, so that you can increase it to 1.2 billion, 4x the mint and burn capacity, so that people can exit UST faster. Because why is that important right now? Like very short term, it's important because traders and speculators, they see this, they understand people want to get out of UST. So what they do is they short Luna, which is incredible sell pressure on Luna. And that's what we're seeing right now. It went down 92%. That's absolutely crazy. This is one of the results of it. And that also depegs UST even further, right? Because UST is kind of like pegged or stabilized by the price of Luna. So if Luna dumps like crazy, you see the depeg getting worse. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So they're proposing to increase that by 4x to 1.2 billion. And then hopefully when this giant sell-off is over, when the market calms down a little bit, they are going to deploy capital to restore the peg. They're going to deploy capital also in Bitcoin. I think it's reads in this proposal also about Bitcoin, that the LFG, Luna Foundation Guard, they want to buy Bitcoin. But yeah, I think buying Bitcoin right now and trying to fill those gaps doesn't make any sense right now. They have to let the market do what the market does. And they even have to accelerate it. It's a hard pill to swallow, but there's no way around it. So that's the current stage. That's very, very short term. And then after this is done, said and done, and there's less arbitrage opportunities, the Luna price is killed, which is already happened. You can't deny that. After this is done, they will again deploy more capital and try to defend the peg and restore the peg first of all, and then defend the peg. But then Luna, I think Luna and Terra's market cap is going to be significantly less after all this dust is settled. And tens of thousands of people have lost trust in the system, obviously, because they got wrecked. Like you said, they lost their life savings potentially. So yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I want to bring it like once again in very simple words so that everybody can follow it. So basically, Luna went up in price significantly during the past couple of months because it was very scarce. So Luna, the currency, was scarce and was backing UST. So the demand also for UST was very high because of Anchor, because nowhere in the world you can get like 20% on on a fiat currency. I don't know, maybe in Lebanon or I don't know, in Venezuela, but not on a US dollar. So that was the problem. Now, because so many people are shorting Luna, Terra wants to basically open the gates to say, okay, we increase the pool significantly. So all of the UST holders basically can exit UST fastly and smoothly. So we basically take away the big shorting pressure of Luna. So this is what we see right now. This is like very, very interesting to see. And yeah, one of the consequences of that is that Luna is dumping like crazy. And now there are like many, many questions. I think now, as we got the understanding of what is happening right now, why it happened, I think now the questions might be what is to expect in the future. This show's name is This Week in Cosmos. And I do not even want to show the Cosmos chart here. I just refresh it. So we are at $12 and 60 cents. Yeah, we just dumped by 3 cents. So yeah, I mean, from a marketing perspective, it's not good for Cosmos because Terra is using the Cosmos SDK. But in my view, I mean, I don't know how you see it, but it's just using the Cosmos SDK. It's IBC enabled, but that's actually it. I mean, okay, there's a lot of liquidity on osmosis, etc., but it's not a technology gap somewhere on Cosmos because of that. So how do you view all of this?
Yeah, I think that's the most important point, is that nothing has been hacked. The only thing that has failed is the game theory of Terra and the minting and burning of UST, which is totally unrelated to Cosmos technology, right? IBC didn't have a technological flaw or anything like that. The Cosmos SDK is working fine. But yeah, obviously the whole market is bleeding. I see also other coins like Avalanche are dropping 30-40%. But yeah, Cosmos Atom has been suffering. You mentioned osmosis liquidity. I think osmosis is suffering way more because they were pretty hard on making UST the predominant stablecoin within the Cosmos ecosystem, right? And a lot of liquidity. I think UST was the third largest token in terms of liquidity on Osmosis, and that's why you see the price is absolutely being destroyed, because everyone is withdrawing their UST positions, LPs on Osmosis, and dumping that. But yeah, this in hindsight, I think might be for Atom, Osmo, even Juno, if you look at that, or other coins in Cosmos, probably the best time to to make an asymmetrical bet on this market, because you can pick it up at huge discounts. I mean, Osmo was at $12 2 months ago. Now it's at $2. The code hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. The only thing that changed is that UST liquidity is being massively withdrawn. But yeah, there's also alternatives coming up. They will also implement a bridge, an interoperability protocol. Axelar just won the voting. So we'll see more stablecoins, asset-backed stablecoins, as well as algorithmic stablecoins. There's also another algorithmic stablecoin coming up from the Agoric team. So I think we'll have more, and that's also the point and the big learning here, is that we need more diversified stablecoins in not just in Cosmos, but in crypto in general, right? So yeah, that's the bottom line. But again, Cosmos technology unaffected. What is affected is the liquidity, and that's also why you see the short-term price sell pressure, but it will recover. Like the same way that in a bull run things are overpriced, the same way in a bear market things are massively being sold off, irrationally sold off, and people just sell because they think, now after I lost 80%, I don't want to lose the last 20% I have, so I rather, you know, take the loss and realize the loss. But I think if fundamentally nothing has changed, which is the case, nothing got hacked, Bitcoin didn't get hacked, Ethereum didn't get hacked, Cosmos didn't get hacked. Since all this is not the case, again, this might be the best time to make you know, to build up life-changing positions in the long term. So
yeah, I totally agree with you here. A couple of things I want, like there are a lot of things I want to unpack here. First thing that I really want to mention here is I see a lot of tweets like this. Let me just look for it. I think it was Crypto Banter who basically tweeted this. Banter. Yeah, like I think he changed his name. So, but anyway, what he basically tweeted was that buying Luna right now is the best thing what you can do. Like it's a very safe bet, or I don't know what he said. He was like, hey, look, we had $2.60. Look at where the all-time high is. It's a very interesting and controversial bet, but that's your chance. I disagree with that because I don't know what will happen with Luna. And I think if we just look at, and I want to add what you just said, nothing changed with osmosis, for example. Nothing changed with Atom. And I think Atom is right now the most interesting bet of them all, and also the most safest bet, because look at this. We are at $12. We are far away from the all-time high, which is at $44. We are far away from that. And I think even $44 is not a very high price target. I think my long-term price target is between $100 and $400, and it's like kind of realistic. So let's say Atom makes something completely crazy and goes to $1,000, something like this, then you make a 100x from here. If we say it goes to $400, which is also like a bullish but not too unrealistic price target, hey, you make a 40x. If it goes to $100, which is kind of optimistic but also kind of bearish, then makes a 10x. And if it just goes back to its old all-time high, which is at $44, then you make a 4x. And the Cosmos ecosystem, and look at when this was before Cosmoverse 2021, It was September 2021 where we saw Atom at $44. The Cosmos ecosystem changed significantly. So I think Atom right now is the best bet you can make. And now I want to ask you, because you said life-changing money, bear market, things like this. I think we are in a very small bear market. So actually now or never, right?
I built the most life-changing positions around, like literally the day of the COVID crash. I was literally in front of my computer till 6 a.m. I'm like, this is insane. I can't believe. Obviously, it hurts to see, oh my God, this market, this industry that we're working in is being wiped out right now. But that's also the moment where you have to really try to keep your emotions together and say, boom, I have to place this bet. I know it's in my mind, we don't like to buy when things are red, even though, you know, the only strategy to get rich with investing is to buy low and sell high, right? But buy low means you buy red. You buy when things are really, really bad. Because when things are really good, things are green. And that's where you should sell, right? So it's always, we have to always trade against our own emotions. And seeing right now, like you said, Atom minus 14%, $12 with, you know, and I wanted to add also that now cosmonauts are really, really happy that Atom does not have this crazy aggressive tokenomics, you know, because things like what happened with Luna can happen. Cosmos, I think in general, is more against this idea to move fast and break things. Is rather to move slow and fix things along the way that come up and learn also from others. And yeah, Terra has just kind of like gone at their own pace, and now they've also probably grown too big, too quick. But yeah, in Atom, things are moving way slower, and I think now people are really thankful for that. And yeah, I think with knowing what's coming with interchain security, potentially CosmWasm, but I think we don't. I mean, it's funny. Like 4 days ago, everybody was like, "Oh my God, we have to implement CosmWasm fast because the competition is moving so fast. Liquid staking this, liquid staking that," and now we're praying to God, please, let there not be another major attack or hack or anything like that. So now nobody really cares too much about utility anymore. We care more about, please let it stop dumping, right? And please let this end. And everybody talks about stablecoins. So I think this is also good for Atom because it buys us more time. And I know the Informal Systems team and the Interchain Foundation, they're prioritizing and working really hard to ship interchain security, which is the killer application for Atom without a doubt. And if we go through 3-4 months of people leaving the industry, people only talking about the price, people only talking about the market sentiment, this buys time for interchain security to come to the hub. And once this comes, Atom is an absolute no-brainer. So I agree, but of course we can't give any financial advice. Atom could drop to $3 tomorrow, like Luna did. You never know what happens. Any cryptocurrency can always go to zero. It's my tagline on Twitter since almost 2 years now. So, and we have to be aware of that. We have to be aware that we signed up for this. This is part of our industry, even though it hurts sometimes, but it is what it is. So yeah, but now I feel like we reached maximum pain. And yeah, I think from here, I feel like the bottom is coming soon. At least it might already be here with Luna dropping 95% in like 2 days. But yeah, it's wild times. But yeah, like I said, Atom is a great coin that nothing has changed, and the technology even got better now at $12 than it was when it was at $44. So take your own conclusions from that.
Yeah, that's actually a very good conclusion regarding that. And yeah, of course, we're no financial advisors or so. But yeah, still, I like when I saw what happened to UST, it was like very shocking, and I didn't know how to react. I was like, with my thoughts like partially outside of crypto, again, I was like, oh man, that's like just too much. But now as I see like the dust coming down again, and you basically realize nothing basically broke, like technically. So if I would see like IBC getting hacked, then I would be like very worried, but that's not the case. It's also not the case that someone hacked the Bitcoin blockchain. We just saw a big massacre right now, but this is also where the opportunity is. I mean, if you're a gambler, Luna is a very interesting pick right now, a very interesting pick, but again, no financial advice, and you really have to gamble this. And then there are very attractive opportunities like Atom, OSMO, etc. So yeah, I think that's very interesting to note here. And it also like is a very good proof that diversity is key when building up a portfolio in crypto, because like the Cosmos ecosystem is heavily affected by this. Still, even though I have like a lot of Cosmos coins in my portfolio, I also have a lot of ETH in my portfolio, basically as a hedge. So yeah, that basically was a proof for myself how important it is to diversify your portfolio in crypto. But yeah, I think what really annoyed me, speaking of Ethereum, so there were some ETH maxis here and there, like coming out of their tiny caves, and yeah, screaming at like Cosmos people and at Terra people, oh, I told you so, I told you so. Now there is Anthony Susano saying, so is Do Kwon actually going to tweet again, or will he just remain silent while it all goes to zero? First of all, I don't think he's silent, he's just working. And I would be actually worried if I would see Do Kwon tweeting every 10 minutes now, because I want him like on ground fixing this if I would be a Luna holder. So yeah, what is your thought on this? Yeah, basically tribalism that we see now.
Okay, so I have two views on this. First off, which is basically, feeding this tribalism narrative. Do Kwon himself has been extremely loud when things went really well for Terra, right? So he has been out there telling like, oh, your size is not size. Bet $200 million that Luna will never go below $10 again. He was borderline offending people for doubting or for criticizing the model, right? He seems to me, I met him, but I never had a conversation with him. But he always seems to be very proud of what he achieved, which he can be, but also at the same time a little bit overconfident, because now he has to eat this, because people are coming back like, oh, didn't you say, you bet $200 million that Luna will never go below $10 again? Where's my $200 million? Like, he's been confronting people really hard, and now he has to live with the consequence, and people firing back, which is fair. But to your point about tribalism and that ETH maxis come out, Bitcoin maxis come out, it feeds their narrative. But obviously we're anti-maximalists, we're anti-tribalism, we're IBC maxis in the best case, which means we're pro diversification, interoperability, connecting, compatibility, all these kind of things. But yeah, it's I'm not a I don't even want to engage in this drama, but yeah, Sasal is a known ETH person that does not like any other ecosystem. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think it was also a mistake from my side to basically ask a question like this. I want to bring it like in a more or less other direction. So I know like Do Kwon was like kind of, yeah, he was riding on a very high wave during the past couple of months, 100%. But I think this, like, my question is more like for the people who really lose life savings right now. If they see something like this from a guy who's like an ETH maxi and made like millions of dollars with like being early in dozens of Ethereum projects with his Ethereum friends, seeing something like this, I think, I don't know. I also heard like from another friend that they're like people who have suicide thoughts like this. I don't know. I think the crypto industry should really stick together right now, because there are really people who suffer a lot. So yeah, that's like one of the bloodiest days I've seen in crypto so far. But still, I mean, like, okay, Do was a very loud voice on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, if people, the thing is also in crypto, and this is, everybody keeps saying this, we keep saying this as content creators also, we have a responsibility that comes with it, right? Is to tell people, guys, this is early stage experimental. All this can go to zero instantly, right? Which is literally what's happening with Luna right now. Don't put your life savings into this. Don't do this with money that you need to pay your bills. That would affect your daily life, your family bills you have to pay, people you need to take care of. But people still do it because they're greedy. So in the end of the day, it's like a gambling addiction that they have, right? And you can never, whatever you say, you can never completely eliminate that, right? And yeah, people lost significant amount of money. I think it's not cool to make fun of this, to make like jokes about this especially from other ecosystems, other founders. But yeah, I think especially these tweets that are directed to Do Kwon, yeah, like I said, he's been so loud and very confident, and now he has to live with the consequences of something that failed. And yeah, he has to take the L, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I just hope that the majority of the people have been smart enough to not put their entire life savings into it. I know some people have done it. or just stored. Imagine like you store your profits, or you store anything in UST and it goes down 50%, like in a stable coin that's supposed to be anti-volatile. Just having to lose half of your life savings or profits or whatever, it really, really hurts. I know this. I've been there in 2018, 2019. I know how it feels to be 80, 90% underwater. But at the same time, this industry is not going anywhere, right? And if you lose most of your money, yesterday I met somebody who got hacked for all his life savings 3 years ago. But you have to take the L. You have to think about ways to learn from this, to refine your strategy, to make sure that you avoid this in the future. So there's a lot of learnings actually that come from losing all your money. I've been there personally, so I know how this feels, losing everything, and not being able to sleep, having tough days, bad mood and this and that. But that's where you make the most money, because you can place new bets. You're forced to find ways to make money. And yeah, it's a tough lesson, but it's the best teacher in the end of the day. So yeah, I just hope people don't lose faith in the industry suddenly, because nothing has changed. The code hasn't changed. Nothing. It's not going to go away. But yeah, people should learn from this. And I think at the end of the day, everybody has to go through this once at least to be able to understand cryptocurrency industry, markets, investments, and how fast things can move. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
I totally agree with you here. And I want to wrap it a little bit up by talking once again about UST, which is still dumping like there's no tomorrow. So what I want to drive the discussion to like stablecoins in general right now. You mentioned it, like a lot of prominent regulators are talking about UST as well right now. So I think that generally decentralized stablecoins will have a very, very hard time in the next couple of months. Because I think this whole drama basically catalyzed the discussions around stablecoins, and the discussions around stablecoins were pretty intense already. And I think this basically, made everything like even worse. So I really believe, and Roll Paul said this recently on the Bankless podcast, I don't see that regulators will be in favor of a decentralized stablecoin one day. They want their CBDC. They maybe want USDC or USDT, something like this. But I think like decentralized stablecoins generally will have a very, very hard time. What is your take on that?
I think they're against any sort of cryptocurrency that is decentralized. They don't like Bitcoin. They don't like Ethereum. They don't like USDT, obviously, as well, because USDT is also not in their power, right? So they don't have control over issuing USDT. It's an offshore company that has been around for many years, but extremely shady as well. And people say if USDT implodes, it will send crypto to a multi-year bear market, but let's hope this doesn't happen. At least you don't have the risk of algorithmic risk like Terra had. But anyways, I think it's not only against decentralized stablecoins or algorithmic stablecoins. I think we urgently need one actually in crypto, because it's the perfect. I mean, we need stablecoins in the first place, obviously. And in the best case, in the crypto space, we have a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin that works. There's a lot of lessons learned now from what happened to Luna and UST. This mint and burn model was copied left and right by so many projects, and they all have to now sit down with their dev teams and say, hey, what can we learn from this? How can we stabilize the peg? There has not been a perfect solution since, and I think there never will be, to have 100% assurance that the peg will hold. But I think in the future we'll have one, and we definitely should have one. I think Emin from Avalanche, he made a great thread about why we need a decentralized stablecoin and which jurisdictions this will come from. I think he said teams from the US are basically excluded because they will have too many regulatory hurdles to overcome. So it has to be a team from Switzerland or Korea that has to work on this. Or Singapore, exactly. And I think we still need it. I mean, yeah, of course they don't like it, but we
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, like needed, that we need it 100%. I signed this 100%. I agree with you. No doubt about that. We need decentralized stablecoins. Still, I think just also like because the market is very emotional, I think that yeah, that we will see how many people basically yeah, leave decentralized stablecoins for a while, just because that's the sentiment right now. That's like the broad opinion right now. And besides, I think that regulators will basically take USD as an example to say, oh, we have to go after stablecoins. We have to have a closer eye on this. I think this is what we see. I think we will see many uncomfortable discussions around stablecoins, and I think that many people will leave decentralized stablecoins, and that, like, I don't know, that USDC or USDT will see more traction because of it. But that's just yeah, just an assumption from my side.
You have, you
But
have
yeah.
to you have to make a price chart there, right? So look
Oh
at
yeah,
what is Maker
that's
doing.
actually
Surprise,
going
surprise.
through the roof.
So that's an alternative algorithmic stablecoin project that has been around for many years and has lost its peg as well, but not as significant as UST did.
Yeah, it
Um,
was during the COVID crash. But look at this, it's actually also like far away from its all-time high, which is $5,000. Now it's at,
no, but it's just a immediate market reaction of people
yeah.
making it the next best stablecoin, decentralized algorithmic stablecoin. But yeah, to that point, also I think it would not be crazy to think that this was a coordinated attack, maybe even from the government or Citadel or any hedge fund or whatever, that were maybe just pressurizing and challenging the system, but also maybe with an agenda behind it. This is like deep conspiracy stuff, right? But it was weird that within 12 hours, Janet Yellen already talked about UST, and 2 weeks before, she didn't even know anything about anything in crypto. Um, so could also be a coordinated attack on algorithmic stablecoin to spread this narrative that, hey guys, you see these things don't work. Why does it not work? Because it comes from, from the public sector, and we need government money, government money. That is the only money that has value, because you can trust us, right? You can trust us since hundreds of years. So maybe this is the whole agenda now to make the case for CBDCs. I think it's not about a stable coin, it's about a central bank digital currency. China's already using it, billions and billions in volume every single day. And the US is also working on it. So expect in the next few weeks more stricter laws against stablecoins, and also more news about a central bank digital dollar. So that's my assumption. And yeah, for sure, they're going to make the case for their own money to be better and more secure and more trustworthy than crypto money, or decentralized money, I should say. So
I mean, these conspiracy theories are very exciting and very interesting. They're very addictive. I mean, you really want to dive deeper there, but I think this shouldn't be the thing what we should focus on right now. But yeah, totally get you here. It's there's room for discussions. I mean, if I would be like government and I don't want to have UST in my life, then I would do exactly that. But yeah, also it may be that this was like insider trading, so that a whale who holds like vast amounts of UST and Luna says, okay, I just dump everything. I manipulate the price and buy more Luna / UST at the new price regions, which are significantly lower right now. So there's room for a lot of theories, but still, I think for me, Anchor was basically the huge problem here in this story, because it created too much greed and basically created lots of more chaos, because like just think about the staking a stable coin for 15%. yeah, everything was like generally Luna was riding on a very, very, very high wave, and every wave comes to an end. Yeah, like last but not least, I think we talked about about Cosmos, so that Cosmos isn't really affected by this. But what do you think is Terra? Will Terra recover from this?
Very tough question. I don't know. I don't know how much. There was a Twitter Spaces this morning with more than 2,500 people, where some people from Terra were there, and they said we still have capital. It's not like we entirely got wiped out. But after that call, which was like 3 hours ago, Luna dumped another 30, 40, 50%. So I don't know. It's maybe you can refresh. I think it's at $2 right now. But I don't know how much research they still have. I don't know how many reserves they still have left. I think they still have some Bitcoin, a few hundred millions worth of Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. There's the wallet. I don't know. You can check that. But yeah, and then probably Do Kwon personally is gonna put all his money into this. I don't know how. The question is, how committed is the team? How committed are the VCs? Obviously, they have a lot of strong backing from the biggest VCs in the world, which is probably going to bail them out. But yeah, it will be extremely tough to recover the community trust. That's the most important thing. So even if they bail out and restore the pack, people would probably just exit UST unless there's a complete restructuring of the whole mint and burn model and collateralizing it maybe and having some different forms to stabilize the pack. But if that's not the case, it's going to be extremely hard. And yeah, especially after today, I think 2 days ago when it was at 90 cents, 92 cents, it would have been okay. But now this is absolute massive. And today is the day when people have lost their life savings, not 2 days ago when it started. So I don't know. It's going to be extremely hard. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Do Kwon has committed, what VCs are committed to, what the community, how they react. And then we'll take it from there. It's too early to say, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that right now Luna is just a falling knife, and you should never chase a falling knife. I mean, it can go down to $1 from $1 to here. So let's see what happens. I'm kind of optimistic that Terra will basically somewhat relaunch again, if you want to, if you can say it like this, that they will basically come back from this. I don't know if they will ever be able to become so big. I mean, Terra was one of the biggest ecosystems. I don't know if this will be the case. The broader circumstances are very, very uncertain in crypto. Nonetheless, there are some coins that you can have a look at, like for example Cosmos, Osmosis, things like this, that basically got the disadvantages of the Terra drama, like Atom and Osmo dumped significantly because Terra is also somewhat part of the Cosmos ecosystem. They didn't profit at all, and then there are like coins like Maker that profited a lot from this. So there are like some opportunities you can look at. Nonetheless, I think we touched a lot of points. We basically discussed what it means for Cosmos. We discussed how everything basically started, what happened and what will happen next. And we also talked a little bit about the tribalism that we see in the crypto industry right now. And yeah, we also said, okay, we also discussed whether we will see Terra again in the crypto industry, or if we will see Terra becoming one of the biggest blockchains once again. That will be like a very, very interesting question, and it will be very interesting to see how this will play out. With that said, guys, again, if you want to get once again a very basic understanding of what has happened, check out the video by Cryptocito. Check out the video by Confident in Crypto. And yeah, besides Cryptocito, do you want to name some hop-off points for people who want to follow you on your socials?
Yeah, I mean, Twitter is the best place. We have a bunch of Twitter spaces also with the Cosmos Hub community and admin holders and stakers and all these kind of people. A lot of content for them. YouTube is also a great way. And then I also have a Telegram group, Cryptocitos_friends. You can join that as well. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, let's hope things recover and that the market at least bounces a little bit and that we see some relief, because the last 2 days have been very intense for everybody. So yeah, but the big learning as well, don't overexpose yourself to crypto. Don't use leverage. Always only put in what you can afford to lose, what doesn't affect your daily life, the bills you got to pay, the people that you need to take care of, and then you should be fine. And yeah, we hope that things get better soon.
Yeah, very well said. I can't add anything to this. Guys, I will be busy buying the dip. No financial advice, but this is what I will do now, chasing the atom dip. But yeah, this was it for this week in Cosmos. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you next week.
Cheers.